Hey guys, how you doing? This is Ray Cologne here at Annabelle Estates. I'm with the Horton, and right here I have the lovely.
My name is Diana Acosta. I'm a local realtor here with La Rosa Realty Prestige.
And so today we wanted to. We just finished up wrapping up a great, successful home buyer seminar. So we wanted to go over and some of the highlights that we spoke during the seminar to our attendees. I know some of you couldn't be a part of it and couldn't make it, so we decided we go ahead and make a little video so everyone can get some answers to some typical questions. Diana, one of the questions that came up during that was, what are the benefits of purchasing a home and having representation with a realtor such as yourself?
Well, having a realtor is really important, right? We are our buyer's advocate. So we are the ones that are guiding you through the process, making sure that everything is going smoothly from start to finish. Even though the sales agents will give you a lot of information, there's other information that I may have that's going to be beneficial for you guys as buyers. So it's very, very important that you always seek the guidance of your trusted realtor. If you choose me, that's great. But we will definitely guide you the best way possible and advocate for your needs.
Yeah, because it's very important to know that when you're coming into buying a D.R. Horn home or any other major builder, we're the listing agent, so we're the seller. So having a realtor does help you as the buyer have 100% confidence that they will have your best interest. So because I can only answer so many questions because I work for the builder itself, not you. Diana, she will represent you and she will work for you. Um, so Diana, tell me a little bit about your experience and you as a realtor.
So I've been a realtor here in Florida for 4 years. I've worked with first-time home buyers, relocations, veterans, even investors as well. So I have a wide range of specialties and different buyers that I've worked with, and I've been able to help throughout my career.
That's great. I know it's very important, especially when you're buying your first home, to have a clear understanding of what you're going through. And I've worked with you in the past, and we've gone through some tough files and some tough closings. And I think that's what made you so successful is the way you really take your time and explain this. Can you tell us a little bit of the emotional part that a lot of buyers are going to be facing when they're going into this?
Of course. And I can tell you from my own experience, right? Because I was a first time home buyer when I moved to Florida from New York 4 years ago. And as a first time home buyer, it's scary, right? You don't know where to start, you don't know what to
Yeah.
do. There's a lot of can and cannot do's and when you're going through the home buying process, right? So there's a lot of emotions that come up. It's very overwhelming. So as a realtor, and because I've experienced it myself, my biggest priority is listening to what the needs of my buyers are. And then I try to adapt myself to their needs, making sure that, I'm as understanding as possible, try to calm their nerves by explaining, the process slowly and thoroughly. And just being that pillar of communication for them, being there for them emotionally throughout the whole process.
And that's great, and that's something that's very important. And when I was in general real estate myself, I experienced a lot of first-time home buyers, the same, obstacles, objections, and I believe that some of the most important things is as when you're working with a professional realtor, they're in the now. They know what's happening now with the market, and not as opposed to someone that bought maybe 10 years ago and is giving you advice on something that's 10 years old. The market changes every day, and as we went over it today in the home buyer seminar, you have different rates, different incentives, different loan programs that were not even available back 10 years ago when you and I first started in this industry. So it is super important that you partner with someone that's going to be knowledgeable on what's happening now and not yesterday. because if you're focused on yesterday, you're never going to achieve anything in the future, right? Some of the other things that we went over today were loan programs. I know a lot of people come to us and they
Mm-hmm.
ask us, you know, I hear that I can buy a home with 100% financing, and I mean we had one today
Mm-hmm.
that they actually went under contract today with it, and D.R. Horton does offer a 100% financing program. I just want to kind of show this, and if you shoot us either one of us a text message, we will be more than happy to send you to this. What's your number that they can reach you if they need info?
My phone number is 914-562-3386. Feel free to call, text me anytime. Also, if I'm on social media, you can send me a private
Mhm.
message as well.
Yeah, and if you need this information, you can shoot her a message, or you can call me or text me also at 407-310-0387. So basically, what this 100% financing program, it's D.R. Horton has purchased down the interest rate. So if you look at now, the interest rates on the market can range anywhere about 6.25, 6.5%, depending on credit score and the situation. So we have done 100% no money down at 5.75%, and that's for the life of the loan. So that's not a fluctuating rate. That's going to be there for the life of the loan. So 30 years, that's what you're going to have it for. Um, Typically, when you have down payment assistance programs, you will have where it's called a second mortgage, that if you sell the home, right, and you have to repay that.
Mm-hmm.
With this program, if you stay within the home for 3 years, it's forgiven. So that money that they give you, that for your down payment, it's forgiven. That's a beautiful thing, because it has a lower interest rate. Two, the loan can be forgiven after 3 years, and three, um, it's it has lower qualifying, like credit scores and stuff like that. Which that's another topic that we hit on today
Mm-hmm.
that was very, very interesting. Um, so if you're interested in this program, definitely hit us up. But as far as the credit goes, um, 640 is what they look for. So that's very achievable credit score to get. I know we talked about our home buyers program. You've had experience using, for your buyers. How do you feel about it?
I mean, it was the difference, right, between owning a home or continuing to rent. So I had my buyers that they were looking at resale homes. With resale homes, there's very limited opportunity for negotiations and closing costs. Obviously, you're buying at the market rate, but thankfully, we had the option to come to D.R. Horton. We were able to take advantage of a lot of the incentives that they had. They had $15,000 in closing costs, 3.99% interest rate at the time. So because of those incentives, it just made it a lot easier for them to be able to purchase their dream home.
Yeah, and there's a lot of companies out there that make a lot of promises as far as, oh, we'll repay your credit, but it's going to be so much per month. And
Mm-hmm.
then what happens is their interest is actually charging you per month, right? And, putting a million disputes on your credit. Well, FHA lending won't give you a loan if you have a bunch of disputes in there. With our Home Buyers Club program, they actually take a look at your credit. They see where they can help you at, and they give you a game plan. And they enroll you into this, and they'll be like, "Hey, so Mr. Buyer, by paying, let's say, $2,000 worth of debt, we can get you into the home within 45 days." And then what D.R. Horton does is we'll find you a home that will get you into that right after that you're completed that program. And they don't leave you just out there all alone. They set up communications between us, the buyer, your realtor, if you want them to be involved, and they will communicate and go, hey, we gave you a game plan last week. Did you reach out to them? You'll be like, yes. They'll help you as far as contact information for those
Mm-hmm.
lenders and creditors. they help you every step of the way until you reach the 640 credit score, and that's totally 100% free. So
Mhm.
that's something that if you're out there and you've been thinking, hey, how do I get purchase a home when my credit score is 600 or 580? Well, you reach out to Diana. Her phone number, what was it again?
914-562-3386.
Or you reach out to me at 407-310-0387, and we will put you in contact with one
Mhm.
of our lenders that will then set everything up with our Home Buyers Club program. Another thing that we went over today was, and this is so bad because things to avoid doing while you're in the process of buying a
Yeah.
home. So once you start the process, right? You come down, pick your home, you got approval, you got a pre-approval, and this is anywhere you go. And
Mm-hmm.
Diana can attest to this. Once you do this, do not start shopping for furniture. Don't start shopping for new cars. Don't start taking loans, open new credit cards, closing credit cards. It is so detrimental. We have, um, seen some challenging things because people, they'll do certain things that just raise red flags to the underwriters,
Right.
right? So, we've put together a little list that we share to all of our buyers and we share today with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was the number one? Can you read that one off for me?
Number one thing to not do is change your jobs
Yes.
or quit your job. I don't know why you would want to when you're purchasing a brand new home, but it has happened where you're just like in that transition period. Maybe you're tired of your job, you're looking to relocate, and you're wanting to change your job. Please don't wait until you
Yeah.
complete the process of purchasing your home before changing or leaving a job. It could mean the difference of buying and not having a house.
Yeah. The second thing that I see a lot is people just buy a new car. They'll buy a new car, lease a new car. So the biggest problem with that, even let's say if you're going down in payment, is that you just close a trade line and opened up a brand new trade line. So your credit is they're gonna run credit, and it's gonna take a dip because they'll run it through maybe 5 or 10 banks, and then you're gonna get an approval. But closing that old trade line that maybe had 4 years of positive payments is going to hurt you. Um, Number three.
Using your credit cards excessively.
Oh yeah.
So you just went on the contract on your dream home and you are ready to furnish it. So you hit the furniture stores and you're ready to buy. Please don't, unless you have cash. If you have cash and you want to start, putting furniture away, that's fine. But other than that, please be very careful with using your credit cards. Again, throughout the underwriting process, they're looking to see all the purchases that are made, your debt to income ratio. You have to be within a certain percentage in order to qualify. So unless it's absolutely necessary, try not to use your credit cards.
Yeah, for me, number four is definitely a very important one. Is spending the money you've set aside for your purchase and your closing.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when you're buying a home, the underwriters want to see that you have what they call reserves, right? So you have your down payment money, you have your closing cost money, but they want to see that you have a little bit extra just in case, a month or two goes on the line and you have a little something just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And you start spending it now, believing, hey, I got my proof, I got everything set. They're going to look and go, oh, no, you know. So you want to make sure that you don't spend anything. In fact, you want to make sure you cut back on your spending because for that month or 45 days that you have to, just cut back on your spending, and it'll pay off big time.
Right. Sometimes you have to sacrifice a few little things to get the big picture,
The big
right?
picture.
So number 5, making payments late. You should always avoid making any of your payments late. Obviously, if you're building up your credit, but during the home buying process, make sure that you're paying everything on time. If that's something that you've never been good at, make sure that you put it on your calendar, you set reminders for yourself. But making your payments on time is very important.
Yeah, that's super important. Um, Number six for me, making large purchases. So that's a scary thing because, one, you're making a large purchase, you're taking on bigger debt, new debt, or you're taking money out of an account that's used again for the savings and so forth. That's going to cause a little bit of red flags for the underwriters. So you want to avoid making any big transactions in there. Number seven.
Initiating credit inquiries. So trying to take out new credit cards, or, you know, you're looking to buy a car and you go to the dealership and they start running your credit. Try to avoid it as much as possible.
Yep. Number eight. And I know this might not sound like a scary one, but making large deposits. And when it comes to purchasing a home, everything has to be explained. So depositing large amounts of money into your account might look good, but you got to explain where that money came from.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, if it's not explainable, it has to be withdrawn from that transaction. Your lender will be more than happy to go over those things in detail, but I would avoid doing those type of things.
Right. Number 9 is co-signing a loan for others. Definitely don't want to do that. Even though you're just co-signing, that debt is now as much as yours as it is as their debt. So try not to co-sign for other people.
Absolutely. And 10, scheduling unwisely. So basically, don't start scheduling like furniture deliveries, yeah, all this kind of stuff that you're purchasing for your home before the closing, or before everything's 100% done. Don't start turning on, utilities and stuff like that. People, don't jump the gun basically on this. So those are, some very interesting things that we discussed today. During that, I get this one we went over, and I get it a lot because a lot of folks, again, comparing the old to the new, a lot of folks don't realize how much things are changing, right? A lot of folks will be like, well, what happens if tomorrow interest rates go down, right? Well, if interest rates go down, you know very well what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Prices of homes go up. The demand for homes go up.
Right.
So what I like to recommend to people is right now interest rates are a little higher, right? So look and partner with a realtor that can look at communities that you're interested in, like right here in Annabella Estates. Annabella Estates right here, Lake Wales, Winter Haven borderline. We have homes starting in the 280,000. We have townhomes starting in the 250,000 with a special incentive rate of just 3.99% currently.
Mm-hmm.
Now that can change, right? But if you partner with a realtor, they will be able to guide you to where it fits you and your family's needs. And you can just compare what you're paying in rent. So, for example, today we went over the townhomes here.
Mm-hmm.
The townhomes in this community start at $250,000. And if you took that payment with everything included, your payment would be $1,868 a month. So if you're paying anything more in rent than $1,868 a month, you're throwing away money.
Absolutely.
Because you can be purchasing and owning your own townhome, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 1 car garage, all the appliances, including the washer and dryer, and you're building equity. So if you're paying, look, and this is our calculator that we have here, $1,800 a month. Over 5 years, that's $108,000. Over 10 years, that's $216,000. At year 15, you've already surpassed what you would have paid for the townhome itself.
And remember, guys, when you're renting, you're not building any wealth.
No.
There's no equity in that. You're just losing money. But when you purchase your own home, you're building equity. In 10, 15 years, even 5 years from now, if you decide to sell your home, you can walk away with money in your pockets. that's money that you can use to then go ahead and upgrade your home. If you wanted to, buy that 5 bedroom home, but right now you can only afford a townhouse, that's okay. In a couple of years, take that equity and put it into your bigger house.
Absolutely.
So it's okay to start off small, and then in the long run, you can buy your big dream house. That's okay too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get caught up in the fact that they want to buy their dream home right out the gate. Um, it's statistically known that most people sell their home within the first 5 to 7 years
Mm-hmm.
after that. So why get into, to what people will call your dream home when you know statistically you're going to be getting selling the home within that time frame? Get into something you can afford that fits your budget today, right? You're going to build some equity and then sell within 5 to 7 years. Buy now your dream home, and then you have leverage the equity from the other house to purchase this one.
Mm-hmm.
So that those are good topics that we hit. Some of the documents you need, I'm not going to bore you with all those documents because obviously you'll get that when you come here and apply. We have it in English and in Spanish. So if you need that, we can have that for you and send it to you as part of the doc. Um, a lot of There was a few people asking us about remote employment. Remote employment is just basically if your employer will give you a letter stating that yes, you work from home, and that's basically it. Or a transfer if you're transferring from, let's say, New York, California, and you're going to be transferring here. Your employer will give you a letter saying they're transferring you, and this is your effective date of employment, and it's just that simple. If you're self-employed, you might need a letter of explanation, why you're moving from state to state and stuff like that. But it's very, clear cut when it comes to those things. Um, we also, if you're interested, we have time frames of when you can buy if you're in a foreclosure, if you had a bankruptcy, a short sale, and a Chapter 13. Um, that we'll be more than happy to provide. So a lot of families also have gifts that they give each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? I know when a lot of my family that are starting the process of purchasing, their one family member will give another family member a gift, so just to kind of start them off. Each loan type has different guidelines. So that's something that we put together here, and we'll be more than happy to share with you also on those type of guidelines. Since we're not loan officers, we don't want to get into the specifics of that, but we do have the paperwork for you.
Right.
Okay. Oh, one of the real big things that we have encountered has been buy now, pay later. So this is something new that we've has popped up basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what are some of the ones that you've seen?
So we've dealt with clients that do a lot of, like, for example, the Affirms,
Yeah.
Klarnas. There's different buy now, pay later loans, right? When you go on Amazon, you want to make a big purchase, so you do it through Affirm. So a lot of those programs, they don't affect your credit score per se, but they are still counted as debt. So when you do those, please be very careful, especially when you're purchasing a home, because remember, as I mentioned before, they look at your debt to income ratio. And all of those buy now, pay later loans, they do count as debt.
Yeah, it's big because a lot of these companies, but my experience in these past few months is that they count the debt, but as you make the payment, they don't lower it. So it still looks like if you took an Affirm loan, let's use them for $1,000, and
Mm-hmm.
you're at $500, they're not reporting it that it went down to 500, so it still looks high. So then the loan officers have to partner with you to call them and then get that updated and get a letter, and that can slow down the process
Mm-hmm.
of you getting your home. So instead of, you might be on a time frame because you have to leave your apartment, right, or wherever you're staying at to get into this new home, and this just roadblock will might delay it by 2 3 weeks. So you want to make sure that you don't want to start any of that stuff while you're in the process of purchasing a home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so take a look at some of the other things. Right. So we went over some of the loan process. I want to take a quick talk about the building process, not the building process, but of D.R. Horton itself. So D.R. Horton itself here in Annabella Estates, I just wanted to talk about it, the community itself. It's a fairly new community.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here about 3 months, 3 to 4 months, I would say, and we have different floor plans available. So our floor plans range from 3 bedrooms to 5 bedroom floor plans, and we have townhomes also. So it's a mixed community of floor plans, and we have a pickleball court. So if you like pickleball, here's the place to come on down and play. We have a nice kids park that's being developed, that's already in place. I'm sorry, and we have a beautiful pool that is being developed here.
Mm-hmm.
It's minutes away from Legoland, from Route 27, Eagle Ridge Mall, Publix, Chipotle. Now we got a great new Starbucks
Don't
that we
forget
have.
Port 27.
Port 27. That's
Port
right down the road from
27.
Port
Mm-hmm.
27. I love that place.
Me too. The
Yeah.
food is amazing.
Yep.
The vibes.
Yes.
They have a little
The
waterfront
sunset.
area, jet skis.
Yes.
I mean, it's a lifestyle.
Yep. And then you have downtown Winter Haven, which is right
Mm-hmm.
down the road. You have a beautiful school they just finished completing. It's great ratings also. So it is a beautiful, beautiful community, and you can see the floor plan here. The pricing of the homes here start about $278,000 for a 3 bedroom, 2 bath home. Okay. D.R. Horton is a fully block construction home. So all of our homes are blocked. There's no wood framing on the exterior or anything like that. Our two-story homes, not in this community but others, are block on block also.
Mm-hmm.
We have warranties. This community is granite countertops, 36-inch cabinets, stainless steel appliances, washer and dryer is included into this. We have a smart home system that we provide with the home. So this is a great opportunity if you're looking to see what your buying power is to come on down. You can, reach out to Diana here. She'll be more than happy to show you guys communities all around area. We've partnered together. We've worked
Mm-hmm.
together. I can definitely assure you that she is one of our VIP realtors here, and that's why I've asked her to join us in this home buyer seminar. The great thing about D.R. Horton and its process is when you get on the contract and you do your first walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
It's called our home buyers orientation. Um, your realtor will be there with you. Then you have your second walk that everybody comes to affirm that everything has been completed and taken care of from the first walk. But the part that I love the most that we've changed up that separates us from a lot of builders is that once you close, a week after that, we will be contacting you from our customer service department to make sure that everything is working and everything's going fine. That is a huge thing for me because if anything arises, a lot of folks' lives are very busy. You're running around, you're unpacking boxes and stuff. You might not get a chance to call Diane and let her know. You might not get a chance to come see me at the sales center, but they're going to call you. They're going to ask you, hey, Mr. Buyer, what's going on? Is everything good? And that's your opportunity to go, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I found this while I was moving a box. I did this, I did that. And they'll go ahead and create a service ticket for you right then and there. They'll go ahead and schedule something at your convenience to come out and service your home. So please, when you go looking at where you want to buy, consider the incentives, right? Consider the realtor you're working with. Consider what's best for you and your family. Okay. Look at builders that have different options as far as financing goes, right? You need 100% financing? Do they offer that? If they do offer it, do they have a special locked in rate of 5.75%? How much closing costs are they giving you? Right? Do you need a lot of bunch of money, flex cash, closing cash, all this other stuff? Because if you can't get the best rate or the house for you, what's the
Mm-hmm.
use of having all that? Right? Do they have different floor plans that will fit your family? Not just that they have one house available at a special incentive price.
Mm-hmm.
Any typically the Horn has about 150 homes that we have in our stage, between stage 8 to 12 that are ready to go. So we are the number one home builder, and that's because we have the buying power to get houses done ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely consider that option. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to Diana. What number?
914-562-3386.
And me at 407 310 0387. And Diana, anything else you would like to add?
I mean, it's just a no-brainer, guys. This is the best time to buy. There's a lot of incentives going on. It's a lot of things that can help you become a homeowner. If you have any questions, any doubts, don't just, assume that you're not in a good position to buy a home. Reach out to us.
Yes.
Let us, guide you and see if you are in a good spot. And if right now it's not a good time for you, then we can help you along the way. Keep in touch and make sure that you get to a place where you can buy a home. So don't just assume. Reach out to the experts and
Yes.
and find out.
Let the experts guide you on the road to success. We're here invested
Hmm.
into your well being. Yesterday I had a couple, same thing. She walked in today for our event, and I'm on the phone, and guess what? They were approved, and they did not think they were going to be approved. Guys, we are vested into your success. Okay? So give us a call. One number,
914-562-3386.
407 310 0387. What's your Instagram? Go ahead, tell them.
Dia Costa, Realtor, one word.
Well, there you go. Mine is Ray Cologne. Uh, Ray Cologne on Instagram. Ray Cologne FL Homes at Instagram. All right, guys, give us a call. Reach out to us. Bye.